Making money is an action, and then managing money is a behavior, and then multiplying it is wisdom. Money unlocks the character that you have, that you thought you were humble was in a mind. Now you have money, that's the true character. Guys, getting married is a wealth creation union. If I'm earning 15,000, you're earning 20,000 as my spouse. I get 35,000. I didn't have 35,000 one. But because I have 35,000 pula. Now I can qualify for 700,000, you can qualify for 1.2. I get 1.2 million, let's say that we have 1.9 million. We can build a 3-month resort. True. Even the banks have been evenly designing certain products like personal loan, mortgage, car. They even name them according to how you should use them. We have this, everyone is teaching us about money. If we don't teach our kids about money, the world will teach them. And it may not be something you like.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome back to the show, Mr. Kago. Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Deep Dive Sessions. My name is Mpho and Kago. Thank you for stopping by and giving us your most valuable asset, your time. I'll go with the shows to bring you and I in proximity to the people and ideas that will show us that it is possible and it can be done, and eventually help us improve on our goals. And so today we have a special guest. We have a man that is coming actually for the second time on the show, an author, a speaker, a facilitator, a man, an influencer actually also, and a man that I know and admire a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, help him to the show. Help me welcome back to the show, Mr. Kago. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
And I'm sure even our audience here will be able to get a little bit of what's in the books.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, welcome back to the show, man.
How are you? Good.
Yes,
It's been
sir.
a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
Eh?
I remember last time it was a pin. Right now, there's
Yes,
no
sir.
pin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I also remember last time you didn't have that silver ring on your finger. And so today we are seeing something different. Eh?
Yes,
God
sir.
is good.
God is faithful. Yes.
And I was also privileged to attend your wedding. It was amazing. Eh?
Yeah, thank you so much.
What hell? What's on to Yeah. Anyway, hey man, we're here to talk about money.
Yeah.
You know, money is something that I think even just historically, it's been a topic that has been shied away from, especially around the dinner table in families.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, when we're wearing suits and we're formal, money, this Q3, Q4, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so we've realized, everybody, I think the world has also since realized that money, everybody has a distinct relationship with money.
Yeah.
And so a very good place for us to start, I think, is can you define exactly, or just maybe the history of I don't know, just let us know a bit about money. Where do we start with this money thing?
Kana madia actually when the Westerns, Europeans came to Africa where there was barter trade.
Yes.
Well, trade was an exchange of goods and services, or what I don't have, I give to you. What you have, you give to me. And they thought some people were not given the same share that they would give. I'll give you a cow, you give me maybe 5 bags of sorghum, which is not fair in value. So they thought fiat currency will help. And currency, we mean anything that circulates, even in physics. So they introduced the money, paper and coins to make sure that we try to balance that when I buy something worth 100 pula, I get that and I pay you that 100 pula. So you are fair enough. It's a fair transaction.
Right.
Because back then, a lot of people who were privileged to have more cows will go there, get mabele, that was a loan. Mafisa, sorry. Demand something, but then
Yes. You bring it back, yeah.
something like that, you know. So these things these are kagala, but still just that you have introduced the money now, it just changed the whole dynamic.
Yeah. I think it was also a good thing, as you're saying. It wasn't fair.
Yeah.
Also, if you'd find that I want what you have, but you don't want what I have. And so it's a problem now.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this also came into, it became something of like today we're going to talk about the psychology of money.
Yeah.
Because we have a distinct relationship with money now.
Yeah.
And there's ways we use money.
Yeah.
So kind of walk us through some of the psychology and even the patterns that exists for individuals in terms of money and using money.
Yeah. Let me start with this quote. Money, making money, it's an action. And then managing money, it's a behavior. And then multiplying it is wisdom.
Right.
You get?
Right.
Yes. Making money
is an action.
Is an action.
Yes.
And then managing it's a behavior. That's where now our topic will center around.
Exactly.
And then multiplying it is wisdom. So a lot of us, I have what I call 3Ms in one of my books. 3Ms of money, how to make money, how to manage money, and how to multiply money. So a lot of us are more aware of the first M, making money. We have a lot of things from agriculture, business, employment through salary, business and everything, right?
Yeah.
And then we have this money, something that you have been looking for. And then now comes an emotion aspect. Money is an emotion. They have a very high relationship with money. There is a hormone that is responsible for happiness and sadness, for dopamine and serotonin. So when they are secreted, my dads and I will give you an example. When I was in tertiary, how my dads and I were classing. Ra tswa mo tlase ra phatlela ba bangwe ba le go ditiro ha madi a tsena ba chaisa motho khona go tsela off wa go ja madi ile boitumelo gore a file gore ha ka khona go aja sa gona le ka la mo contain especially let me speak to them ba teng ba tse loan motho a tse loan o tsa off gore a go ja loan ile gore ipotse gore go ira galai o mo madi a tsena la seng ga le dumedisa mo office o batla go le dumedisa lotle ba ba le roga. So you see that actually money unlocks the character that you have, that you thought you were humble or senamad. Now you have money, that's the true character.
That's why people say money change.
Money change. A lot of people
change. I
reveal the hidden behavior that you had. Now, a lot of us now we haven't discussed or see how money works. There's this book that I posted this afternoon on my Facebook, The Psychology of Money. How money is psychologically affecting our decisions. So you have someone who's a saver, someone who's a spender, I have one client, I'll give you an example with them. This lady, she's the breadwinner. So na godisa bo mogolo le batsadi ba gagwe, the parents and the grandparents. So it happened that the grandparent passed consecutively in 2 months. Like this 2 months, then another 2 months. So na asana funeral cover. So you cover and that thing pained her. You see that this money is coming, so you home pain. So I feel okay, fine. I need to make sure that I correct this mistake. It gets the funeral cover. So I'm funeral cover when we how about the way funeral cover was subscribe. I hella motiva 200, 300.
So didn't see
so decision is powered by emotions of pain that I don't want to suffer that pain again. Even though it's a good decision, it's overdone. So they are over-insured. So this person, that's why I want to give you a relationship psychological. It has psychologically affected her. Okay, fine. I've lost the parents, I'm in pain of grief. Now I'm losing money, I'm in pain of losing. Now I need to patch where I can. So I want to unnecessary, which affect what? Money. And then I remember when I was calculating all the money that we're going to funeral schemes, they were close to 2.9. And I was asking
on a monthly basis.
On a monthly basis. Jeez. Because I think there's a bank account in a different cover. Hey, it was a lot. And it had 300, 450. So you can see it's a bad financial decision, and actually didn't even go for grief counseling to get that. So I can give a lot of example. So money has a relationship with us because the moment you feel dopamine has been taken and the truth that dopamine are said to be engraved back in your memory that even if it means they are born yet and you can take decision. So money has a very big relationship because motho mo hela feel gore especially ladies, not to attack them, they like impulsive buying. Motho a teng a re ha o tlile botlhoko gore a feel somehow gore a spend. Well, not on the F10
like ice cream, those
I
things.
need to do that. So no, ba khona go tsena mo shopong ka karata. Ba swipe dilwana le ba ipapelo. But they have transferred that pain into happiness through spending. So you see how those things happen. And they say they feel good. I haven't felt that. I actually feel painful. Pain. So I don't know how to them help. So I could pick that there are different characters that are involved.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, eh? It's pretty interesting. But like that example you're giving, because I know of myself in varsity. I would 1 month I am saving, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Next month got the allowance and I'm eating out at restaurants, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And then I realized that I wasted money, and then I'm back to that. And I started seeing this cycle repeating itself over and over and over. And I was like, yo, I have to stop this. Like it's because it's not taking me anywhere. And I think that's what you're touching on. So for somebody that is trying to diagnose themselves, how do they then figure out what psychology they have towards the money? What's the relationship they have, so that they can start to make the steps to proper or better money management,
finances and their relationship. There's a book in the Autonomic Habits. You know James Clear, how a habit is formed. It's a repeated action. Probably 21 days is enough for you, or 21 times is enough for you to create a habit. If you set an alarm for 5 for the next 21 days, the 22nd day, your system is still quiet. So the moment you change, I always say habits are not, in fact, energy and it's not created, it's transferred. So you replace even habit with another habit. So you had a saving habit. I'll give you an example just to clarify this. You had a saving habit and you took a decision to replace it. Say, to you labeled saving as and you used it as a reasoning to swap that the decision to say, I'm not saving garage. So you are no longer saving, you are spending. You don't want to call it spend, you are repapelo, because how about the bad financial decision you are explaining to us? So such people you will pick, and they don't want to understand or not. It's a bad financial decision. Have replaced it. How do I be now continuous? You let it be the reason why you are doing that. And at some point, but the reality check. No, I'm spending rather than saving. But you could have picked somewhere that saving was good for you. So you need to create a habit of saving. Once we have it, it's there. Who decide to get to another? Because when you spend and not save, you are eventually going to spend everything. That's what
I know people like that. They get stressed.
That's a habit.
That's scary, man.
Yes, that's a habit. I have another client, it's a good thing. So I get so likely by virtue of profession, I have 2 years, so around 19 years, and I 18. None of them developed, but 6 of them are alone. So that instruction from the parent to say collect land, they didn't specify what type of land, to do what, and when. The instruction hell. Me ha ka go utlwa motsadi gore a tlhabolle kana ya tolosa na ba ile na le keletso ya gore no a tlhabolle le hatse le go tsenyetse madi ba ba ema mo tseleng na ngwana ka utlweletselo a motsadi. And that's where now some of our financial decisions come from. Ditshwetso kana ditaelo tse re di huang ke batsadi ba sa tlhalose sentle ntle gore tota how do you benefit from this? Because le rona re go le go tse ska ra botsa thata go dilo te ile ya la bo dumela gore nya ke gone mama o tsile hape le ga mele ba ka o berekile. And then that person has over 8 plots and net pay was less than 5,000. And I was asking, okay, fine. Have you heard about a broke millionaire? Like you don't have cash, but you are rich in assets. So I told them, look, go and value your plot and come back to me before you take that loan. So about the value, all of them, they make close to 3.6 million. And I'm like, you see that you have millions in your hand sitting in the land. You get? I want that to sink. because I've seen some of my clients repeatedly acquiring land that they don't develop to create cash.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between,
you can never go wrong with land.
You can never go wrong with
Yeah.
land. That is the narrative.
Yeah.
But there's a poor land investment. There's a good land investment.
Every asset
that should
to
be
be
done.
honest. Yeah.
So they were accumulating land in a poor way. Not that land is wrong or whatever. In a way, the method they were using. So I told them 3.6 million. Okay, she did a plan for one of them. It was a mattress somewhere around Gaborone. So I told her, okay, fine. Since you want to build these 8 units, build them. Sell these 3 plots. Hey, and there's this attachment, especially people. That's what it even comes to moto khona go rua selo la se mo tsenya dingolo, especially go rare tsana go dikoloi wa tse go khona go phephetha musi a service a change di tire a change gearbox a change engine how much tsedi rest re bone madi ala heta madi a koloi yele times 3. And that is why we go to issues of the causes of financial mismanagement is divorce. You end up go divorce. Mosadi a modimo tla ba le ka go ba a bua be go pala.
Wa ntse re nanga ke ba ka tsa koloi.
Ile ba e ha maina ke tsipentso highlight di le maina di koloi tsa teng. Mokoko go tla e boka mai boka especially tsa ntla tsa di van yana.
Especially the first ones,
But they don't realize that they are financially making the family suffer. They don't realize that the family is going to suffer because of this longevity or the time you take to let go of that car. You develop something. So that couple, they managed to sell the triple. It doesn't matter, but you are receiving 5,000 per month. Is it enough for you? Actually, you are even expecting. I'm like, you are bringing another person. So you need to let this and build this mountain. Like enough for house and school. So sell this for 1.6 million, build those mountains, almost like 500,000, and then develop another one. I built the unit 8 is the mountains. That was bachelor. I remember L1 2.5 then. So they were giving it close to 20,000. I said, look, you have been earning 5,000 pula because of the decision to sell and create a cash flow. And I always tell people there's a difference between cash and cash flow. Cash flow is the money that comes in on a monthly basis consistently. So she has created a cash flow out of those assets. They made her a millionaire who's broke. Now she can now enjoy the money that is coming in. Every month, 20,000 was coming plus 5,000. How much has she make? 25,000 per month. So because of that decision to sell, bothata ba rona bo mo teng ke gore le batswana re tshaba go rekisa. Wa itse re ha mo jarteng ka bontse ga dikorokoro. Gona le dio tse di tlhatlhagantse go la o thuba dikorong sa makgarakgatshana. So batsadi ba rona ba re ruta hoarding, hoarding. That's the right way. Let's hoarding. We like to hold. All of us re tlo go longwa ke dinoga. We tla go tlhagalo maragara go re tse room gore go na le special sana is wrong. O tla dipampiri hale
di copy tsena tse seng ke di dirisiwa
go simola ka tsone dio tse it becomes a habit of hoarding. So tlo le motsadi wa nyala o isa go la ruta bana ba gagwe it becomes a what a generational thing. But you could have sold that thing, could have made money, create something to create wealth. So sometimes accumulating liabilities is accumulating assets. Hence why they make us suffer. And that thing is psychological. And you need to pick that thing, not from a point because of this. Yes, it's okay to have something so saratan, but is it valuable to you? Is it helping you? There are people today who are about to retire who don't have an asset because of continuously wanting to service a car. 5 years. But then are you creating a balance sheet or are you creating liabilities?
Are you creating a balance sheet or are you creating liabilities?
And when you talk about balance sheet, you are talking about assets that are generating income. I always tell people, I don't see a need to own a property before 30 that you stay in. Rather, create an income that after 30 you can buy your own house that you can build. We are so fast that even banks have made it so easy for us to buy a mortgage to build a house that we stay in. Then they mortgage you for 29 years. And then when you're about to retire, you finish that house, you have nothing to show off. You're going to be a poor retiree.
And so you talked about saving, which I think is very powerful. I think there's people that I know, a class of people that, or maybe kire batho hela in general, who don't who don't really understand what saving is and the value inside saving.
Yeah.
We know that saving can help us, but
Yeah.
I can save 100 pula and then 100 pula akong tiralang. I want you to kind of demystify it for people because just give them the value of saving and the habit of saving and where it's leading to.
Yeah.
Because I know, because if you can't save, if you're not saving, then you're probably not investing.
Yeah.
And so
Definitely.
walk us through that.
Yeah. So you see, like I talk about the 3 M's of money. The moment can I say we are talking about managing your money, that hard wa sumarela and ke atle ke hese kaise gore saving and investing are two different things. Ao ntle ke sa boroto. How do ba boroto? O bo tlogela hale, o bo tsentse east, o bo atirong. How tswa go tlhala le gore ba go ba hatsi ha dira mathata. That's investing. Money will multiply or increase in value. But how ka dua boroto bole bo ba pa le dombe bo le tsenya mo microwave le wal o bo atirong. How zo dira tlhala ntse le wal. Hala gola. Mme o le tlo tsa ka o le itlhetse. A do le itlhala ja ka o le tlotse sore. So that is saving. So saving is putting money for a project. That's why I always say prioritize doing saving for a short term with a mindset to invest into a project.
So you're not just saving.
Yes.
You're saving for a project
There
or for
should
something.
be a goal.
There's a goal.
Yes. And my advice is to always say, have a savings for emergencies. Because kharitur mango swaleng, kharitur mango lwalaleng. Kharitur kule ya go thula pothole ka ya go le dipula na metsi a cover tire ya thunya, ha ona mandi ga rwa di mo go ka go kana go motshelong wa Mpho. And then mothola ga Mpho go are 30%. If you are earning 10,000 you not pay. How inside 2.5 that month you are budgeting for 7.5, but you have kept your lifestyle at 10,000. Who's going to sponsor the deficit of 2.5? Because of your bad decision not to have a savings account, gore ha sengwe se ka diragala ke tse ke petche. Ya no re tshela hela on automatic life gore ama assume gore kula me ka thu. Ama assume ra ka re ke la roboto ma go dia thu kolo ya me ka e tshwana ke go tsenya di first year, which is going to cost me. How much do you have in your savings? At least they have 10% of your salary. Mo di saving o sa khomero a ke emergency ha go tenya se mamang gore tlogetse nyana sa matshidiso tsa ga re tshelepe toro re go mohitla a ke re ya no tlala bontsi ba batho ba pala gore ha bana di savings do tse dintseng jalo di a bapala. I call that is emergency save for anything that is emergency, but the savings they le gore wena o batla go nyala, wena o batla go aga, wena o batla go invest somewhere, you want to buy a plot. That's a purposeful meaning save. You are like, okay, I want to buy a plot, let me save 200,000, let me go around find a plot where I can buy. Once you buy it, you have another saving. I want to build kereka ditena, kereka roofing material and so forth. So saving, it's a habit that you need to create so that it can help you manage your life. Spend anyhow. The moment to save is the opposite of spending. So you are going to save and you are like, okay, I need to save this money for this purpose, so that by the time I spend, I know I'm spending it for something that I've written down. And I always tell people when the year starts that I share some savings plan. Save at 20 pula per day if you can, 5 pula, 2 pula, 100 pula per month, 1,000, whatever. But that's where you come in terms of your finances. So that at the end of the year, you have something to say, okay, December normally is where families go
Meet
for vacations, rabola di pudi di khomora go nkuku, dijo tsa metsolo di atla. We are not saying na rigid skwa itekela dilwana o skwa travel go ba Cape Town. Make sure that it's not cutting up your finances. And when you are saying budget, pay responsibility to give yourself a report how you have used your money. You get it's you accounting to you.
Be accountable to yourself.
Yes. Okay. So it also helps you with other areas of your life. You are accountable to yourself. You can be able to easily be accountable to the people you work with, from work, business, church, wherever you find yourself in any position that you need to account.
And that's a big thing, because I think also even when we're in the spaces of corporate, how bring us your your 3-month bank statement and show us so that we can see that you are in that habit of doing things. It's showing that you don't have that discipline. To be able to run that. But there's also people that also say, the moment I like dirang emergency fund, keep it the emergency. What do you say to those people?
No, that's a mindset they have created themselves. You know, you create a mindset. You know, because of that, gore ha perception re o na aware of no me after big ha se tloba ka nka no la ha ka data sa no sa e bona ha wa e akanya so motho mo le gore o feel gore ke beile madi wa ba ka ntsa feel gore what can I call it as an emergency gore ke go a tsaya ke ne responsible to myself and before you even start it house na go and write the emergency ke bua ka leso ke bua ka botsogo ke bua ka sena
it should be clear.
write them down how one also trick depends on what you do la bo here and why it's deep down your heart gore go mo ha se gona I always tell people gore ha motho mo a go nyala a ba go la letsa 3 months ahead it's ka re lenyalo botla le bitsa re ke emergency because you have given time to plan time to think of what you can do so le so as go mo go plana wa bola re ba ga itse mama re tloga se we need at least less than 10 days gore be re mo robaditse and then what do you need it changes your plans for that if you that weekend lo ena no batla go wa tlogela ha le go ga weekend go tlogela wa re no kenya mente ke go laela morwa re ke mo tsamaise sentle jo tse dintsinyalo ha ka re o tswa bo betsa pothole ha se go mo go planetseng e be kolo e senyaga ke no idrisa go a tirong a kere e bile na le fuel chances are gore a borwa e pheka ga gore batla cab you are creating 40 pula per day in 10 days that's 400 pula you get and in 30 days that's 1.2 but kulo ina le fuel but tire ke 800 pula
you could have
solved it if you had at least 5,000 in your savings account that you're like okay maybe bila o tsena go a dirisa a bo wa busetse la weekend so sa ikgame so that botsholo ba go bone ke go tsamaya sentle because you never know what's happening so go itira the emergency you know what an emergency is write them down
lovely Mr. Go-Twides tla le khang e leng gore ke batla gore re tshware ya money language now we're bringing it to couples because you know the statistic that talks about divorce. 80% of divorces is issues that might. It's not just mobile, it's across the board. And so clearly there's a disconnect between the way I view money and the way my partner views it. And that brings tension. And then go helong kara spend that money. And I'm not a bitch we lang but we didn't understand. And so there's that. There's also, it speaks to also temperaments. It speaks to also even just our money blueprints. So kindly walk us through some of those, like the money languages that we have as individuals and even as couples, and how to be able to run through this. Because I know for sure this is something that you do consulting at the couple.
So in the case, background, everyone has come from a background, and most of us, 70% come from what I call middle income families or even below. So such things and the household that the other household that has money won't use. You know, I remember the first time I heard the word loan was from my brother complaining that certain bank. So I was asking him, why loan is and I'm like, okay, why we are so I'm like, I'm still I don't know. So you see the conversations that loan is a bad thing.
And the emotion attached to
it. You get what I'm getting as a child. I may not tell you. It's just when I'm old, I'm like, hey. So now to me, it reset as a lesson. Oh no, this is bad. I shouldn't let this. And one time we were playing Bolumo Patelo. So there was one furniture. I forgot the name.
Hey, as a base.
Obviously, Carnival. I think
Carnival.
Yes. So one of our friends the sofa freezily TV. So I get mozzarella hudu. I don't know what's a hell. I think I was like 10, 12 there. Ala hudu no. Mama, ba isa ka TV. I mean, what lebella di papa. Mama, ba tlogale ba etse. Re the conversation. So I not tabule go tlora ba hudugela kae. Our friend o tsama sa re laela. Kante furniture go tsama ine ga gone motsadi ga khona go duela. Now, ngwana ha tswa go wa re ba no TV tsele di tsero ke batho a re tlotlela di tsero ke batho ba furniture she hates the furniture shop. She doesn't like it. I told mama never to buy that thing. She doesn't like those people. So now I'm old now. I understand. So this thing caused the child a pain because of a certain financial decision of a parent to hate this thing. Because of what? A bad financial decision, not to pay an obligation. It's a family setup. Another thing, there's family and what they are well off. They are taught, no, school to see, I want to buy a plot, buy a mattress, make sure that the rental is above the monthly installment. Once we do that, we use that one as a security, buy another one. Another one is told the debt is bad.
It's bad.
So you see these
Run
two
away
people,
from it. Yeah.
We go into the field, we work. I find the girl, hi, how are you? I love you, let's get married. Now, she has a mindset that debt is okay. I have a mindset that debt is wrong.
It's demons. I know people call it demons.
So we meet, we get married, we need to create wealth. I know because others is even painful that your parent will go to jail. Others even painful that you see them when they are happy, they sell everything about who do lifestyle. You know, even these things, they affect the ban. But number 3 betting how you listen to not
even that private school,
because of cut the cost. I get it.
Yeah.
And then you see that you are affecting the psychological, mentally, emotionally, lifestyle because you have lived a life beyond your means and you are unable to sustain it. As a family, you are affecting those people from where they are from, especially the age of 6 to 12. It's a mindset they learn through observation, listening, hearing. That's why they always tell you, don't tell them what to do. Do what you want them to do. They learn by action.
Yeah. They model.
So they model. You need to model it up for them. So we tell So you go to couples. The couple have a different background. I'm a saver, she's a spender, or other school. Those are two characters. We need to sit down and agree. Or no, school. Schools are the rangasone. So there is a need for every couple to go for financial counseling. Let's sit down and understand our behaviors and patterns and there's a reason. Why was there's a reason. So we learn the money language. No one is born knowing money language. No one. I hear, especially when what we because you had it has triggered your action. Wow, no, ni ka ran tlo ka tla rotlo go e bona Brian ga no mona mo di status because manje ba di tsamaetse a gile ntlo ke kwa ke tlo go e bona go ya gile ne man no ke tsena ha ke ma ba banka ne le high present that
look at God
ena ba go tsa lona ba nya ba go ita go reka koloi go no go ka nda ha o itse o hilwe ke batsadi wena tlo boetsa ba go tsa loan from there o simutsa ka net pay ya 15,000 go tswa go tsa loan wa ga ntlo go gae mo go ba re le kgalema lenyatso I have no one guy who was used to work in a mine. So they having this hut in one room. So he was working there every now and then. Got the holiday So it came a time about mine. So at the mine, of course, they earn a lot. So the pension go. So they gave him that money, close to 2 million. About 40 by 40. Omega sure haleboting is a meter from Koleboteng like Koro Yakoloi. I think it was like 38 by 38. Something like that. It was another room 8. He didn't do a bill of quantity. He didn't plan. Foundation no, even in fact, high rulela. And roofing and this thing has been there since 2010. Had direction. That guy retired because is not inspired by the aim just to invest. Lona be le mo khalemela le lona go ro eme ya no mpeno ho e tletse jarata o kile wa e rekisa jarata go mara go atla tsantlo jarata yo tlhana ena na ro tlatse kore even planning hela go padile and so didn't see they are diragalela most of the time as we actually one of our guests here we are during our question and answer or you go to a bank you are looking for 200,000 the man or the lady behind where you qualify. And the way to qualify doesn't mean you afford. Can you be able to afford, you qualify for 200,000 Well, I know about 100,000. They can qualify for 300,000. And you don't know by so doing, interest is going to increase. The monthly installment is going to increase. You know, but don't know. 2.5. I'm be fine. 5,000 I can survive. Yeah, no how 3.8, which is close to 4,000. Like a 2.2. In this time and age, will you survive with that? You are calling yourself after that, you will never go out of debt until you retire. And then by that time, you have nothing to show home, you have nothing to write home about. So the couple need to come into place to agree and discuss their financial, because we have made it a myth that to some extent that the husband doesn't know how much the wife is earning, a wife doesn't know how much the husband is earning. It's so pathetic that we find that.
Yeah, it's a problem. In a marriage.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Others even have secret accounts that they have separately. And then that is why we have what we call financial infidelity, cheating with money. You building property that your partner doesn't know because you have never said that. Because I always tell you guys, getting married is a wealth creation union. If I'm earning 15,000, you're earning 20,000 as my spouse. I get 35,000. I didn't have 35,000 but because I have 35,000 now I can qualify for 700,000. You can qualify for 1.2. I get 1.2 million. Let's say we have 1.9 million. We can build a 3-month or 2. There 1 million, and then we make sure that those because I'm idea my quotas, but because create the wealth. So this thing of couples not coming together to speak about money should come to an end. If better do for consult, let's sit down. If there is a need for me to see them one-on-one, I will do that. This is what you call a personality test. What type of person are you? Are you choleric? Are you pragmatic? What
are you sanguine? Are you melancholic?
Until you know yourself in that regard, you won't be able to. And there's another book by Gary Chapman, The 5 Love Languages.
Yes.
There's people who like gifts. There are people who like that. Nagibatla quality time here. Nagibatla mo ntakela ndi gift. Nagibatla mo le physical touch. Nagirata what's the other
words
one?
Of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Now, we tell if you don't know that I like gifts, and nagi spend the gift. I was spend now because I'm fulfilling you. I'm actually trying to communicate my love language to you. I'm spending to you, and you don't feed it by doing that. Because you're trying to fulfill the void that your partner is not bringing. So there's a lot of factors that are playing from your love language to your personality as an individual. Depressed. Now I told my father, why? It's a game. Hey, I know that I will spend. You know, so no, when I had how let's do how na anything that will happen from our investment. So by so doing,
but at least you understand each other.
You are
That's
not
the goal.
killing them. You are not suppressing them. You are giving them a platform with a limit to say, let's work hard to support this limit by so doing. So because you have set a limit, so this is our investment. If you reach here, we increase this. So we work hard to achieve that one. Work hard to achieve that one until we agree to say, look, now let's get into this one. So once we meet, no, when I'm your monthly spend is 5,000 for us to reach 10,000, let's build 2 mattresses. Clearly, they build our road 10,000. So there's a goal to fulfill, so that you can be also fulfilled. So how long save more modi couple and candidate la gore ndi a kgaogana mo tla ba simolla go hitla a re kana ka go spenda madi thata kana ke simolla go hitla magere mme o spenda madi e be ke hitla mang you so go simolla ga because we didn't understand our personality, we didn't understand our goal, we didn't understand where we are coming from, and the language is spoken to us about money. Gore motho a ntla wa re se goal tsena re se siame kana ha sa siame, motho a ntla wa re go save le a re no go siame kana go a siame ke mana go bolela ka insurance na re relay ya re insurance e ja batho o mongwe tomorrow insurance confused. You get what I mean? So we have this, everyone is teaching us about money. If we don't teach our kids about money, the world will teach them. And big it may not be something you like.
Big facts. And I think everything I'm hearing you right now, it's abundantly clear. You're supposed to do that whole self-introspection.
Yes.
Open yourself up and really try to understand yourself, because you will never be able to use your money correctly. I read this book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T.Harv Eker.
Yeah.
He gave a story in there. There was a lady who became a nurse.
Yes.
Not because she wanted to become a nurse, but because she was having dinner with the parents.
Yes.
That they somehow choked.
Yes.
So her whole life was her trying to help.
Because
the dead she could not help. And so she became a nurse out of that. So it even goes to even our careers. You can find you are doing this career not because you wanted to do it, but because Madina so
and I can tell you mine after you have done.
That well off than you. No, my dad is a banker, and my dad is a what? My dad is a what? And then you decide to do that career, but it was never something you wanted to do. It's just because it was implanted into you. The other thing that you spoke about, when you talked about love languages, I think a friend sent this to me some time back. Sometimes we might think things are our love language. Sometimes it's just our unmet needs that we had when we were younger. And so we're trying to overcompensate. We're trying to always fill in that void and that gap. And money will show us that for you. It's not your ground.
Most of us have childhood unmet needs.
Yeah.
The chances are at our grown age, we still have to fill that boy. We still have to fill that girl in this old body. And it may require you to make certain decisions. But because you hold a trauma from a childhood,
from the past,
that you never went for counseling for, you never grieved, you never had to attend to it. Now it's coming to haunt you at your old age. Even financially, trying to forget that thing. Trying to forget that thing. You don't see that now. Because of a certain trauma response, it now fails through the money. And I always tell people, show me what you do daily. Or show me what you like. I'll tell you where your money goes. Because if I like soccer, I'm going to buy soccer things. I will attend soccer games. I will travel. If I like cars, I'll buy the magazine. I have a friend of mine likes buy magazines at Ikure. Even and then I'm with him like, hey man, there's a new car, there's an updated horsepower. I'm like, my guy, horsepower you are buying, he will tell you that guy right now is a mechanic and is one of these guys who are very great in this auto space. And then you find that his passion for that is actually modeled him to be where in he the career, is. You know, so a lot of us, they are somewhat inspired by certain effect or emotion career because they are dual. Security. Job opportunity, but it's not really what they want.
Or they just heard stories from Mahat to hey, this is this.
Yes.
Oof, man, money is quite something. Money is quite something. And then we also touched briefly on issues of debt. We touched briefly on them before we get into the books, because I also want us to talk about what the books have in there.
Yeah.
We also talk about issues of debt. I think for us, or personal debt, and in fact, we were sitting down with you know this gentleman, Satlaratsosa, and he was talking about Botswana. There's a statistic that shows that Botswana are financially educated. But our biggest problem is financial management.
Yes.
We know about money, we know money instruments, we know this. The issue is the management.
Yeah.
And so I want us to really get into issue of debt, because it's something that pains us a lot and that affects us in ways that I think amongst ourselves, we know a marriage that is filled because of debt and unclosed debt.
Yeah.
So kindly walk us through maybe one or two ways we can use debt in the right way. And also, it's up to my eyeballs. How can I solve it? Yeah.
So I'll give you an example first before I answer you. You know, there are two people that can go to a bank and get $1 million each. The other one buys a house in Block 7, which is already built for $1 million. It's 3 beds, has a something gomarao. That bachelor pad gomarao, paved everything, 3 beds there. We rega $1 million. And then the other one takes $1 million, goes buy a plot, a maltras, build 10 units, study bachelor thing. And then those two people will all have the access to 1 million. All of them have used it, but differently. And then it's going to determine, that's why I always advise the young people and generation to say, look, don't rush to buy a house that you stay in, rather rent for some time and then create wealth with the money you could have bought the house that you should be staying in to create wealth. So this person will get a mattress, let's say, how much is mattress, bachelor pad, right now in Tokwe?
2.5.
Let's say 2.5. When you have built delay 10, and that's like 25,000 pool, you find that this 1 million, in, let's say 20 years, let's say, how much is mortgage length? 25 years,
25.
let's say. And then per month, you have to pay 12,000 pool. Now, the 25,000 pooler that you are getting from the rental can be able to pay the installment 13. You have created an income with a debt. And then there's another one, he's buying the property to stay in, to cut the rental. 3,000. You get the difference? For a forfeit of that extra 13,000, you see the decision. I took a decision to avoid Huduela rent, which is like 3,000 bull. And sometimes I always talk about the value of your decision. Is it better to rent than to create an income? Or not rent at all and not pay anything? Who is better? That person who do Angole, what's the income? After a year, you can value both plots. Block 7, or 1 million. How you value 1.4 million? You value the mattress 2 million. But he's already partly let go the installment. So called to essential. There's a good debt and a bad debt.
Yeah.
So Barona, even the banks have been evenly designing certain products like personal loan, mortgage, car. They even name them according to how you should use them. How a person had to use for personal reasons. Don't even invest. You say mortgage for where you stay. Student for you to go for paying. There's never a mattress to say business loan is this much we'll give you, and we'll give you a gracing period for a business. Chances you have never seen a bank doing that, because they've actually managed to make sure that they psychologically make us spend in this thing to accumulate, and everybody consolidate that sale. And sometimes I remember one bank, I made some money. They called me, they told me that I afford a car that was worth $1 million. And they actually send their person there and tell them the chocolate, lady decide. I'm like, oh, so there are levels to this thing. And then I remember in my level, my gold card to my other card. I don't no longer qualify for that card. I should come for this one bloody benefits. Little did they know they are talking to me that I know, okay, since you do a monthly service fee 50 pool, over 300 pool, and they tell you, no, you have access to lounge, coffee, you don't holler. So they are manipulating you to think there's comfort while they are making money behind. So issue as a whole, you need to be smart about it. You can take a loan thinking that a loan is a good debt and you use it poorly. And you can take loan and enjoy loan. Make sure loan ya go hira go tse man ya ga yone ya 13,000 ya mattress. Like one of our guests yana tlhaso kana mattress here, it has been considered the low risk investment, and it was actually seen it a lot of people go into property tse di harogane. Ya no bontsi ba rona re tsana mo sekolotong go reka dio tse leng go di lose value ke di ability bile ha ka re ka mo so di rekisa di go ha the same, because property if you buy it today, after 10 years I get rekisa, it's no longer how much I bought. It has increased in value. Rental every year 102.5 ka 2010 gone yana every year gets 100 play ke 3.5, right? 3.5. So remember 2010 nearly 2.5, 25,000. Right now it's 35,000 pool. 2010 that 1 million, nearly 1 million worth of a property. Right now it's 2.8 million. And now let me show you how you create wealth. Once you have that, after you pay off that debt, you can be able to clear off that loan. You use this property as a security and then buy another one to create income. Or you are like, to look, I've already paid half of your money. My property has increased in value. Million, 500,000. So property I'm 2.5 million. or 2.8 million, let's say. So now you can pay 2 million while you still keep the property as a security. Take that 2 million, go and buy another mattress. Create another income stream. Get that mattress. Agree later be ka khona go service home. Take that money, and at some point you have a portfolio on the mattress that will fall. How do you that? So do high income extra. So you might find, let's say each of them do have to have 13,000 pula ka nne ke bua. You tell over 13,000 pula times 4 for 54,000 pula. You have created ka sekoloto.
So Khang is not even the banks, it's how we use the money.
In a calm conversation, because everything bad has happened. Now their perception of debt is different from someone who is in school to sin.
Yeah. Lovely. Please walk us through your books, Mr. K. You got entirely and shamelessly show them. Show them up and tell us what's in the books. Which camera do I have for before we wrap it up?
Yes. This Understanding Stock Market. This is the first book that I wrote. In fact, for me to write this book, I had bought shares when I was still in the tertiary. When I was doing tertiary, I used to be inquisitive so much. That's why I actually made it to be an income now. So I always inquired, and I went one time to Botswana Stock Exchange and said, okay, fine, how much is to buy shares here? And what are shares? They explain everything. I did my research. Even my course, accounting and finance, there where you talk about those things. So because I'm in there. So I got the love to understand what shares. I began regarding shares in different companies, 1,000, because I had some savings. And then to my surprise, they started to pay every 6 months, 1 and 3 months. So I know I'm at tertiary, I don't need much of the money. So it's already 1,000 per 220. Okay, because I bought the high value ones. And then I'm like, so shares you can make money. I did a research about it, I understood it. I said, okay, let me share or how to make people make money
because you did it yourself.
Yes, because I've experienced it. Now let me teach people about it. And I went to the CEO of Botswana Stock Exchange, the outgoing one, Mr. Seoul. It's actually going out. So at short,
tell him I want him on deep dive.
So I made sure that I teach people about this to say, look, guys, you can make money out of the stock market. In as much as the stock market has the shares, so to make people aware, like I remember one of the communication company here listed and their shares are going down. One of the retail shops here as well, they are going down because someone were not informed enough to understand that the shares, hence why I penned this one.
Lovely.
Yes, and then there's this one, Understanding Stockfell and Crowdfunding. So this one was inspired by my aunt, like there are certain way you see different people. So my aunt, so this lady's on a monthly basis because I was a secretary and treasurer. But so I was always there to the right? So as a young I'm learning. So sometimes but I'm listening to what they are saying. No, so okay. So I was trying to get my hand and I'm interview when I was doing my first day. How long have you been doing it? No, I've been doing 16 years. Okay. So there's nothing you can show for me about that other than you are always 16. Okay.
They could have opened a bank.
I remember when I was doing a research, I had to visit him talking about one of his mother or something talking about Hanibadirisa Machonisa. It's the same year one of the banks started ABSA, for example. Started the same year they started Machonisa, but ABSA grew to be a multi-million company, but when they didn't grow to that level. So it's all about mindset. So I thought to myself, okay, fine. Montello is a crowdfunding. Yes, I am private school. So why not now combine them to show them that it's the same model but different names? We go to South Africa, it's a Stockfell, where people now use Stockfell for food. So even retailers have now came to the party to come and say, look, we have Motshelo wa go aga, ra Motshelo wa dijo, ra Motshelo. So why not teach people about this, how they can do it in a formally way? That you need to have a lawyer because batho ga re tshapang, there are different characters. So so let's do a lawyer, protect ourselves, protect the entity, the image, have a constitution. So in this book, I'm sharing that on how you can do it. There's no story here, it's just to share how can you put it in place? How do you spot them? How do you make sure that you avoid such? And how can we pull our funds together to create wealth? Because I can tell you, if we are here, we are 15. If each and every one of us answer 5,000 on a monthly basis for the next year, we can be able to raise $1 million, buy a plot, build a mattress. In the next 10 years, enjoy what we have built. But again, rental on a monthly basis. So it's all about how you make our money work. Or you can buy a plot, a farm, maybe how make money, buy another. It's all about how do we make sure that we raise funds together. I can tell there's someone who's in HR into hospitality or more engineering. So now I don't have that. I only have financial. I come and tell them, guys, this ideas we can do. But no, not experience. You see their skill sets. How do someone sell about so they can create something that me alone I cannot do. Like I was telling you, even how there are two incomes that coming together, two ideas coming together. Now
synergy.
Synergy. So how like different skills that are there that you can use to expand and grow. There's a retail shop called Lesotho that was created by School of Lesotho. They enrich something. There's something enrich. Where they have come together, Babula shop parties, that they are creating value chain, so it's all about we can come together, pull funds together, and create an ecosystem where we create wealth for ourselves. Consumer
products.
Because I always tell people, like my aunt can't show her the 16 years. But if you buy a farm, you can say, I bought this farm, I built this mall, I built that commercial water filling station, whatever that you come together. So I'm encouraging them to come in groups that they can start that. You don't need to go no amount of kwala mekwalo go itsa gore se ka la itsa gore motho a tswa go iragala motho a tlhokala go iragala motho a tsena go iragala le kgagana madi a di profit after how long then get it to go. So this is what the book about.
How about that? Thank you so much, my brother.
Yes,
that was extremely powerful.
200
and
this one is 150. So when I combo get 300.
Oh, combo get 300.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. We really hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Deep Dive is dedicated to bringing you the most comprehensive and engaging information about business, personal finance, and personal development. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all our latest content. If you like this video, give it a like to show your support and help us reach a wider audience. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family who may be interested. Sharing helps us grow our community and connect with like-minded individuals. Leave a comment below and give us your biggest takeaway on this episode. If you're interested in being a part of our live studio audiences, make sure to register for the next show. Can't make it to the show? No problem. Check out our Patreon page to watch the full episode and get exclusive access to more great content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Deep Dive.